Well, good afternoon, everybody. Game time, Brian, otherwise known as the mailman. We are inside of a month on this kind of a cool, crisp, not sunsplashed Saturday day. It's a little chilly. Sitting here watching some UFL. Yeah, do you believe I might actually think about streaming some UFL football in the near future? Hey, I don't know. But especially once the draft is over, I might have to because gets a little gets a little dull. But it ain't dull right now. There's a lot going on with the NFL. Not so much with the Cowboys. We all know the stories. You know, I know I could speak for myself. I'm tired of talking about Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, people. I'm tired of talking about friggin' Dak Prescott. Bring something else to the table. All right? Bring something else. Done. So we're going to do a little mock draft today. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to call this my 5.0. So what I'll do is I'm going to pick every team in the first round. No trades. I will do, before I go to the draft, I will do my full first round with trades exactly how I think it'll be right before I go to the draft. So let me grab something here. All right, here we go. Let's share the screen. Boom. No, it's not what I want. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Let me make sure it's at 150% so you guys could see it. It is. Can I do 175? Yeah, I can. I can. All right, we'll do just one round. I selected everybody. So we are going to enter the draft. All right, here we go. Easy one, easy peasy lemon squeezy. This should be the most uneventful first round pick in a long time. I'm actually going to drop this down a little because it's kind of taken. There we go. Caleb Williams, easy peasy. There it is, easy peasy. Next pick here, we got Washington. They're all over the map. We're hearing they could possibly trade down with the Minnesota Vikings. We hear that New England is in love with Jaden Daniels. So the key is, will Washington do them a favor and take Drake May? Will Washington do them a favor and take Drake May? Will Washington take J.J. McCarthy? I'm going to stick to my guns here. I think New England's going to be upset. Jaden Daniels goes to the Washington Commanders, number 2. Makes too much sense. I've been saying it for a month and a half now, but everybody else is starting to catch up with me. That sets up New England. Definite trade back situation here. They like Drake May. Let's look at the quarterbacks that we have here. Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. I got news for you. All 4 of these. There could be 6 quarterbacks go in the first round. I might actually do that this time. I don't know. We'll see as it goes. Everybody had they have to go quarterback. I would say this is an absolute trade down, trade up situation. I would think that Minnesota would trade to this spot. But since we're not doing trades, I still think Drake May is the pick. I don't think Minnesota's trading all the way up there to J.J. McCarthy. I think there's a lot of smoke screening going on. So we're going to take Drake May here. Drake May goes, but not necessarily to New England. Make sense? All right. We got the Arizona Cardinals again. This one is just about as easy as it gets, like the number 1 overall pick. I think Marvin Harrison is a shoo-in. They need wide receiver, defensive tackle, corner. Marvin is already on record saying he wants to go there. I don't think Marvin Harrison is the best receiver in the draft. I love Malik Neighbors, so there's an outside chance that could happen, but I don't think so. I think a pedigree wins out. He goes to Arizona. So there we go. All right, we have number five's on the board. We have the. Like, it's very hard for me to say this, but the L.A. Chargers. I think that's going to come back to bite them. They need wide receiver in the worst way. They need a corner. But listening to Jim Harbaugh go on and on and on about the offensive line, I know, I know Malik Neighbors is there. I know Roma Dunze is there. I think they go offensive line here. I think they go with a tried and true. Again, we go pedigree here. I think this might be the first time I've mocked it. But after hearing Jim Harbaugh, thanks to Ultra Cowboy, sent me the clip of him saying, if you don't have an offensive line, if you think about it, what's the one position in the NFL that if you have a breakdown, everybody else can't live up to their potential? That's the offensive line. If the offensive line breaks down, the quarterback can't throw, receivers don't have time to get open, the running backs can't run. That's the one position. So we're going to give them Joe Alt. I know they lost both of their receivers, but this is a heavy receiver draft. No trades. Yeah, they could take receiver, but Joe Alt is the number one left tackle. He comes in, solidifies, makes the quarterback makes his job a hell of a lot easier. So we're going to go with Joe Alt. The New York Giants. Look at the New York Giants. New York Giants are sitting back. Yeah, they're throwing up the J.J. McCarthy smokescreen. But my Lord, who falls in their lap but none other than? Let's look at this real fast. Let's look at this. I think they need wide receiver. I get it. They need corner. They need running back. Oh, oh, oh. They need offensive tackle. Malik Neighbors. Bam. Malik Neighbors to New York. Makes too much sense here. If Joe Alt is on the board and it goes chalk and it goes receiver with the Chargers, then Joe Alt's going to New York. I think that's a perfect storm for New York Giants to get Joe Alt, but I don't think it happened. I think Harbaugh snakes him. And this sets up the Tennessee Titans where they are a little bit confused because they thought they were getting their guy, the left tackle. They need offensive tackle. They need corner. They need linebacker. They need wide receivers. So let's see. Offensive tackle on corner, Olu Fashanu. They have there. They got Terry and Arnold. And they got Troy Fontenot. Ba, ba, ba. Who's on deck? Okay. Tennessee. 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 What do they need? What do they need? What would I do for them? I think you got to stick to your board, and I think you got to stick to the studs on the board. I really do. Hmm, 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 hmm. Fashion news 6'6", 312, tall, sturdy frames, pumped up, move for his size, excellent physical. Offensive tackle. We're going to give him the best one on the board. Bam. Olu Fashanu. Offensive tackle. Penn State goes to Tennessee. Next best option after Joe Alt sets up the Falcons. Everybody's mocking an edge rusher. I think that a corner is a sneaky need. Um, I think uh, edge or corner. I think Dallas Turner. I think he's a little raw. I'm going to go back to my original assumption on that. Um, they did bring in. They did bring in Kirk Cousins. Maybe this is a situation where a J.J. McCarthy could sit behind him and learn. But I'm not going to do that. I think they're going with Kirk Cousins, and I think they can get a couple years out of him and maybe hit the a quarterback again next year or later in this draft. Edge corner. I'm going to give him the best corner on the board. Defense corner. We got Terrion Arnold and Kenyon Mitchell. Whoever you think is better. Arnold a little bit shorter. A press man guy. I really love Mitchell. Really love Mitchell. Really love Mitchell, but I think they go with Terrion Arnold here. I think they go with the bigger programmed guy. Yeah, Toledo. I think Kenyon Mitchell could be the best a corner to come out of this draft. I love him. I do think the Eagles are in play to move up if one of these guys drop into the teens. But I'm going to switch it up and not go edge because I think the edge, well, both positions carry. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go Atlanta and give them the best corner out there. One of the best, which sets up Caleb Williams and his next pick. They need edge rusher. They need wide receiver. We got Roma Dunze there, but I believe the wide receiver room, I believe that it stretches big time. So we're going to go. We're going to go with Dallas Turner here, boost that edge. Dallas Turner goes to Chicago. I like it. A little something different, but it's still a big need. Sets up the Jets at number 10. Jets need wide receiver, offensive tackle. Again, I'm going to wait on the wide receiver, I believe. To me, you have to go the best tackle left. You got Fuaga and you got Fontenot. Give me the beast, Fuaga, 6'5", 324. He could play on the right side until Tyron Smith blows out a hammy or something, and then he could slide, or he. That's what I'm thinking. You got to go with a Talise Fuaga or Oregon State to the Jets to protect Aaron Rodgers, your investment. Sets up 11. They wanted to trade up for this guy. I believe they really like Jaden Daniels, Drake May, but they're long gone. I don't know if it's a smokescreen with J.J. McCarthy or if they really want. I'm telling you that they're taking a quarterback here. I'm just telling you right now. So McCarthy, Bo Nix, Penix. This could be an interesting situation here. This could be one of those situations where we're like, what the are they thinking? But the Raiders are yet to pick, so hold that thought. We're going to say, you know what? They like the guy. Let me see who's on the board here. What do they have? What else do they need? They need defensive tackle, offensive guard. Did they do it? Do they do it? Do they do it? I'm going to do it for them. I have a sneaky suspicion that Michael Penix Michael Penix is shooting up the board here. Um, I'm going to do something. This is going to be ridiculous. This is going to set up nice for teams like the Eagles and Dallas, especially Dallas. Just looking at the board here, for whatever reason, I think it was a smokescreen with McCarthy. I think once they can't get up to get a Drake May, Michael Penix goes to the Minnesota Vikings, sets up Denver. Denver is in need of a quarterback. They need defensive tackle, wide receiver. Uh, Per Brian brought us Sean Payton, who he speaks to a lot. If McCarthy is on the board, he's taking him. Whether he'll be there, I don't know. But looking at how it dropped, we're gonna go. We're gonna go McCarthy here. J.J. McCarthy went to Denver. Now, that sets up a panic city. Oakland Raiders, they need quarterback, defensive tackle, wide receiver. Let's look at the quarterback room. We have Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler. They have to, if they want their quarterback, they have to take it now. It's it's crazy for him to have to take it now, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to take Bo Nix. Huh. Bo knows. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Bo Nix goes to the Raiders. Again, way too many quarterbacks, but people put themselves into position to have to take a quarterback. So this is just setting up well for all the teams below it. Now you got the New Orleans Saints. Their needs are offensive tackle, offensive guard, defensive tackle. Um, Offensive guard, they have to go with offense. They have to go with offensive guard, offensive tackle. I think Fontenot goes to the Big Easy, the French Quarter, fits right in. Left tackle out of Washington, bam, gone. Troy Fontenot goes to New Orleans Saints. That ain't setting up good for Dallas now, is it? All right, you got the Indianapolis Colts. They need wide receiver, cornerback, safety, edge. Uh, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, man, they need wide receiver, corner, safety, edge. Roma Dunzy's still there, people. Roma Dunzy is still there. They need a receiver. Shouldn't be there. Bam. Roma Dunzy goes to the Indianapolis Colts, setting up the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks need offensive guard, offensive center, linebacker, defensive tackle, and corner. Um, mm-mm-mm. Guard has gotten, well, guard is still looking pretty good. Offensive center, linebacker, defensive tackle. Uh, this is a situation where I think they go J.C. Latham. I think Amarius Mims. I think people are scared of him. I think Latham or yeah, we're gonna go with Latham with the Seattle Seahawks. Switch it up a little bit, not go with the center who has some injuries with his hip, meaning Jackson Powers Johnson. The Jacksonville Jaguars are on the board. They need corner, wide receiver, defensive tackle. Um, I think right now you have to take Kenyon Mitchell. Again, this is all a spot where the Eagles could possibly move up. I really think they want. Now, the Eagles do. I know they really like the safety slash corner. I'm hearing that teams envision a Cooper DeJean to play corner as well. Very versatile. One of the best athletes in the class. I think I mocked him to them a few times ago. But the Bengals are on the board. Defensive tackle, wide receiver, offensive tackle. A lot of good options here, but this guy here, Brock Bowers, I've mocked him before, but he's too good of a player not to be taken. So Brock Bowers goes to Cincinnati. LA is now on the board. They need corner, they need edge, they need linebacker. Jared Verse makes the best sense. What are the corners on the board? Nate Wiggins is there. A Cooper DeJean. You got Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's recovering from foot surgery. We're going to go Jared Verse goes to the Rams. Number 20, offensive tackle, offensive center. Latu's got an issue too. We don't know the health of him, but he's a risk. The medical people are going over him with a fine-tooth comb. Latu. We'll see where he goes, but I don't believe he goes here. What are we doing here? What are we doing with the Steelers? They need offensive tackle, offensive center. I think they go Graham Barton here. That really does hurt. I think that's better flex. I think Mims is going to drop because I think Mims is going to be there for the Cowboys if we want him. We'll have to see who's on the board. But Graham Barton goes to the Steelers, which kind of messes with the Miami, but they also need a center since Connor Williams is a free agent and is recovering from yet another surgery. Jackson Powers Johnson goes to Miami. All right, this sets up the Eagles. Latu, I don't believe, fits in with what they're trying to do. Brian Thomas Jr., let's see what they need. They need corner, linebacker, safety, wide receiver, edge. I don't believe they're going to take Brian Thomas. You got Chop Robinson. You got Wiggins. I think they go Cooper DeJean. I circle back. I know I took him a few mocks ago. Cooper DeJean goes. He's a very versatile guy for the Eagles. You know, you got two older corners. He could slide in there. That's the pick between him and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That'll be a pretty devastating secondary. And if you can get a better year, you heard Howie Roseman come out and just say that James Bradbury didn't live up to his contract last year. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But we're going to give them Cooper DeJean. Now, I do believe the Eagles are going to trade up in this draft to get one of those corners. I don't know that that they like Wiggins. Wiggins is he's a risk, kind of like an Emmanuel Forbes with the Commanders, but he's highly talented. When you get right now, you're getting to the players. Now, there's going to be some first round graded players here because of all the quarterbacks that I would say at least three of them don't have a first round grade. All right, that sets up Minnesota. Who did we take earlier in the round? We took Michael Penix. So that sets up Minnesota. They need defensive tackle, offensive guard, and cornerback. Defensive tackle, defensive tackle. I think they go, me personally, I think they go with Byron Murphy. Boom. Very, very good player. Dallas Cowboys, offensive tackle, offensive center, linebacker. So if we're sitting here now, okay, I think this would be a perfect spot to drop back. Um, they're not going to take Latu. You got Mims. I'm telling you, everybody's worried about Mims playing left tackle. I don't think he's going this high. I don't think Dallas is taking him. If we have to stick and pick, they're not taking Mims. Offensive center, there's no real center unless we reach for a Zach Frazier. Linebacker, running back, defensive tackle. You got Johnny Newton. He's a 3-tech, not a 1-tech. We're going to circle back with us. Not a sexy pick. I think this sets up good for us for Buffalo or the Chiefs to want to trade up with us. I really do. I really do. We're going to take Tyler Guyton here. We're going to leave. We're going to leave Tyler Smith at left guard. So that sets up Green Bay Packers. They need linebacker, corner, offensive guard. We're going to give them Mims. There's no linebacker that you could take. We're going to give them Mims. They're going to take Mims. 26. Edge, corner, offensive center, offensive guard. Leatu Latu. They need an edge rusher. They need an absolute edge rusher. Does he fit in their system? We're gonna give him Latu. Boom. The fall has stopped. That's going to be a tough decision for Dallas if Dallas has to make that decision. But I think they would go with Guyton. Sets up 27. They took Marvin Harrison with their first pick. They need defensive tackle and corner, offensive guard. They will probably take Johnny Newton, give him the best defensive tackle on the board. A 28 needs wide receiver, safety, edge. Wow. They end up with, they need a defensive tackle, offensive center. Give him Brian Thomas, goes to Buffalo. They replace, remember they went through they got rid of a lot of people, and that'll set up nice if they do want to flip Diggs in the near future. They'll have Brian Thomas waiting in the wings. Sets up 29. 29 needs edge rusher, corner, defensive tackle, offensive guard. We're going to give them the best cornerback on the board here and give them Nate Wiggins. Hey, they're not used to drafting this late. Number 30. Wide receiver, offensive guard, edge. Wide receiver, offensive guard, edge. This is a guy here worthy that they would be real, that they would want. Wide receiver, guard, edge. Give him Chop Robinson. Bam. Just at this point, they always seem to. Baltimore always seems to take the best player. They always seem to take the best player. So 31. The 49ers, offensive tackle, corner, defensive tackle. Offensive tackle, corner, defensive tackle. Oof. I'm gonna do it. They're gonna take it to Vondre Sweat earlier than what anybody would want. It never goes chalk. Never. Give him to Vondre Sweat at 31. Hell of a pick for the San Francisco 49ers. Bang, bang, baby. Bang, bang. 32. Wide receiver, offensive tackle, linebacker, defensive tackle. Do they like an Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Worthy? I'm going to stick to my guns here and go with a safe big boy out of BYU, Andy Reid's hometown kid, Kingsley Suamatea. Bang. And there it is. That's full results. There it is. Drink it in, everybody. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. There it is. You got Caleb Williams. Dallas gets Guyton, Mims, Latu. If this were to happen, coming from, just look at like possible trades before we end this. Possible trades, people, would be Minnesota trading here once. If New England truly doesn't like Drake May, that could be a possibility. This pick here, I like it for Cowboy fans because I don't want to see Alt with the Giants. For the most part, this is what I like. Down here, Latham could drop a little. He's going to play guard in the league, maybe on the right side. So maybe that doesn't happen. But again, there's not many tackles at that point unless they really risk a lot and go with a Mims. Mims could go that early, but that's a monumental risk. Only 8 games played at the college level. And Guyton, he's ready to go left tackle, but he's raw. So there it is, mock draft 5.0. Tell me what you think in the comments. And don't forget, I will put the link in the comments down below after I post this video. Tonight, 8 o'clock, game time is, and prime time on prime time, Phil. We're going to talk a lot of draft tonight. We're not going to talk Dak Prescott. We're kind of Dak overload right now. It's just not something that it gets old talking about it. Let's talk some draft. Okay, let's talk defense and let's talk some draft. All right, Game Time Brian, otherwise known as a mailman. I'll see everybody 8 o'clock tonight, people. Late.